This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and we all know after the tryhard comes the jank. Because we got nothing to lose. All the way back down to platinum. Whatever you are in Mythic, you go back to platinum. Grind again, silly mortal. Play more. Just play more. So, am I gonna play 100 more games with fires to get back to Mythic 100 something? No, I ain't got. I got no patience for that. Neither do you, viewers. I know you don't. I know. Even the most try-hardy of you are going to get bored of watching Jeskai Infinity, but fortunately for all of you, I've got spicy brews coming out of my eardrums like earwax. And we've got today the card, probably most insanely overhyped card of all time, at least on my Twitch chat, and seemingly a lot on YouTube as well, Ozolith. The Ozolith, Ozzy boy. Oh my goodness. Whenever a creature leaves the battlefield, if it had counters, put those counters on the Ozolith. It has to be a creature you control. Bummer. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if the Ozolith has counters on it, you may move all counters from the Ozolith onto target creature. Okay, so what are we doing with this? We're going to play, well, most people want me to do like Simic Ascendancy. Hydroid Crisis. Ugh. Gross. Too janky. I need to win the occasional game. I need to feel like I'm playing Magic at least part of the time. I have to. So, we're playing it in Gruul. So this is a spicy Gruul deck that does a lot with +1/+1 counters, and then uses the Ozolith to move those counters onto a large, hopefully hasty creature and win the game. So, we've got... sort of doing our Embercleave impression is we play the Ozolith, we spar around with all these cool little ground creatures. The opponent almost certainly kills them, some amount of them, because otherwise they die. And then we play a Skargan Hellkite, we move all the counters onto the hasty Hellkite, and we smash them in the air. That's sort of the idea, because otherwise you could cut this and just play Embercleave, but Dragon, you know? We're trying to do something a little different today. Other cards that people like to run with Ozolith that I'm not big fan of, Yorvo doesn't fit the mana base if we're going to run the red. I like having the evasive threat going over the top. Nissa and the new Vivian Reed are both cards I get told to run all the time. In a perfect world, those are fine, but the idea is that we want to end the game on turn 5 when we play the Hellkite. We just want the game to end. We play Hellkite, we move counters to it, we smash. Because this deck, unlike most decks in Standard, can't play a long game. It just can't do it. If the game goes long, we not strong. I guess that is going to be the mantra for the Ozolith deck that we have here today. If the game go long, we not strong. So, we need to kill them fast. Fortunately, Ozolith actually makes the creatures in the deck insanely resilient, because even as they kill off our creatures, we play another Zerta or another Gruul Spellbreaker, and if they killed a Mechagodzilla, a Stonecoil, or a Pelt Collector, there might be like 4 or 5 counters here, and we move them onto the hasty creature, and the hits keep coming. Downree's Ambush has a +1/+1 counter, so that's our removal spell of choice, along with Vivian, the Arcbow Ranger, who distributes more counters around. I wish she distributed the trample counters, but that mechanic wasn't introduced back in M20. Mechagodzilla, the weapon, aka Crystalline Giant. If you don't play this with Ozolith, I think you are completely without a soul, because what's cooler than piling up a bunch of these ability counters and then putting them on your Ozolith and then moving them to various creatures? It's freaking sweet, so we do it. And of course, Stonecoil Serpent, instead of Yorvo, we're playing Stonecoil Serpent. It's a little... Well, for one thing, the reach isn't nothing. Reach is helpful, but protection from multicolor is pretty good. Oath of Kaya, Teferi. These are things where protection from multicolor is very handy. And either when this dies, leaves the battlefield, you pile up counters, or you can put the counters on this and has trample, so it's very strong. There is a sideboard. Sideboard is a bunch of one-of creatures for Vivian. Don't use it. It's never going to happen. Forget about it. And then the mana base is skewed to green because we need triple green for Arcbow Ranger, who I think is a pretty essential part of the deck, being both a removal spell and a threat, as well as moving more counters. So that's why we're skewing heavy to the green, and why we don't run more red cards or a different kind of mana base. All right, I think that introduces the deck pretty well, so we're going to dive in and let the nonsense begin. But for the 50% of you who actually watch my intros, you guys are cool. You guys are really cool. Right now, you, the person watching this, you are cool. Person who skipped this to watch first game, and person who turned off video entirely after seeing the deck list, not as cool. Less coolness. Smaller coolness is how I'll put that. But for those of you here, I do want to do a quick bit of indulgent promotion. So this is the Arena Craft podcast, and on their latest episode, I am the guest. As you see, it actually had 53 views, so we are totally crushing it. But yep, I am everyone's favorite I'm everyone's favorite wisecracking YouTuber. Apparently is what this says. And if you could click further into this title, it would say Ikoria Standard Week 1 with Covert Go Blue. And CGB gets perhaps the most epic introduction of his entire career. That is true. The most epic introduction of my entire career is in the first couple minutes of this sweet podcast. And I'm going to let you guys know, I'm going to be back on this show. We're recording tomorrow, so it's going to be like 2 days. It's going to be like the middle of the week before you guys get it. But I'm recording another episode tomorrow. So I will be on the next episode of this podcast as well. So if you look up Arena Craft right here and go check it out, I'm sure that you'll really enjoy it. Arjuna, the guy who runs the podcast, is a really awesome guy, and I have a great time talking about Standard, the meta, and things like that. So if you enjoy it, make sure you subscribe. It's a weekly podcast, and let's see if we can keep inflating those view numbers. Look at those view numbers. 12, 11, 7, 12, 53! I bet we can do better. I bet the CGB army can do better. All right, anyway. Now we dive in. Let the Ozolith nonsense begin. Ozolith. Sweet. And you have Yorion, weak. Weak compared to the mighty Ozolith. Turn 1, win, easy. Alright, that'll have to wait now. Our first +1/+1 counter card. Our first Teferi of the day. Quality. But, check this out. It doesn't work as good as the opponent thinks it does. Huh? What's this? Alright. Let's play this. Let's play this with haste. Move to combat. +1/+1 counter. Take action. Smash.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
Oh yeah. If we draw land, Vivian starts tearing this place apart. So we have to kill the Teferi there, I think, because we can't afford to have them play instant speed Shatter the Sky. Last casket. Oh ho ho. Ozolith. It left the battlefield. That's an Ozolith trigger. More counters. The weapon. Play the weapon. Use it. Strike opponent down with all of your hatred. Let's make a 4/4 for sure. So that Shatter the Sky draws us a card if they find it. And this is Trample. Sweet. Boom. Card. Counters on Ozolith. Trample and 2 +1/+1 counters. Stonecoil Serpent. The opponent has Glass Casket. They can't interact with this that way, but I think we'll just play the Zata. Haste. Counter. Combat. Put the counters here, please. Smash. Behold the power. The amazing power of the Ozolith. They shock. They conquer death. Nothing What? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What was that? All right. Keep it coming. Go ahead. Conquer. Conquer death. Show us what you've got. Yep. Yep. I know that we're mostly Control fans on this channel. I'd like to think we're all enlightened Control fans like me. But I'm sure the beatdown fans in the audience really enjoyed that. Ahoy. Gigantha, the Wellspring, the big 5/5e tap add crap to mana pool elk thing. Keep. I think when you have a hand like this, you open on Pelt Collector Zerta and just hope the opponent doesn't removal spell you in the first 2 turns, and then you play your Ozolith. At least that's going to be my plan here today. Pelt. I'm coming for your Pelt. Temple of Epiphany. You make blue, you make red. This thing. Could be anything. Could be Arclight Phoenix. Arclight Phoenix can run Gigantha if they don't run Finale of Promise. And we're opening with Bone Crushers. Rude. +1/+1 counter. Teamer Adventure, possibly. Without Brazen Borrower. I guess that's the only loss there. So we could play the weapon and start getting counters on that. We could play the Ozolith, munch this thing, and get in for 4. We do have another fight effect in Vivian, so I think it's worth it. Especially while they can't interact with the fight. It's not a fight, but you know what I mean. A fight is when they deal damage to each other. This only deals damage one way. I don't know, a bite because of Rabid Bite. Maybe it's a bite, yeah. So when they're tapped out and can't interact with the Rabid Bite, that is a good time to use your ambush. And like I said, I have a Vivian, which is a -3 for a bite. So, yay. Oh, it is some kind of Arclight Teamer. Arclight Song? Maybe. Let's go get a green source so that we can play Vivian. I think we play Vivian. I don't think we want the weapon. I think this being a 6/6 with trample and having a Vivian on the field is pretty good. But maybe I am supposed to play the weapon, actually. Having more bodies on the field and start accumulating abilities so that it becomes a relevant card. God, this card. First strike, boom. That'll show him. That'll get him. Alright, Temple Scry. So I shouldn't have cracked the passage at all if I was going to play the weapon. I was pretty sure I was going to play Vivian, then I thought about it and held Vivian back. We don't want her dying to a couple Arclights, for example. Whoa. Whoa. You're bold. If we hit the +1/+1 counter, we win. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can do it either by playing you or playing you. Let's save the haste threat because of the Ozolith. Let's hit the +1/+1 counter. Let's win the game.
I am Scala's vengeance, and I'm coming for you next.
I want this one to get around Lava Coil because it can have so many more abilities. So we'll pump this one. And
Fit
it's
enough to survive.
not +1/+1. It's trample. So close, though. So freaking close. Let's see if the opponent can go nuts and kill us somehow. Steamkin. So I think this is a Nox deck. Professor Nox put this one out like the first week of the format. It was Teamer Song with Runaway Steamkin and Arclight Phoenix. And as you can see, the mana is kind of brutal. And with the trample, that's going to be game. I didn't know I was facing croakies. I don't know if anybody on YouTube will get that joke. It would go over on Twitch. On Twitch, there would be... On YouTube, it's like... Hey, we got our hand. And it has Ozolith, Zerta, Stonecoil, Vivian. It's everything I want in life. As long as we draw lands. Temple of Milady. It's not even an accent. What the hell was that? I always hear my lady and I think me lord and I want to do the Warcraft orc. Righto. Job's done. Me lord. Yes, me lord. You know, I just go right back there in a heartbeat. Zeta. I mean, we've got a lot of tools if the opponent starts killing stuff. We've also got a pretty good curve. It's hard to know where this Ozolith is going to enter the fray. Because I'd love to play a 3/3 Stonecoil next turn because it pumps my Pelt Collector. But our opponent has 4 mana and they have a Cavern Whisperer. Discard a card. Gross. Alright, you can go. And it's a 4/4? Epic. Go big or go home. 4/4. With Death Touch? No, Hexproof and Menace. Menace. And it, yeah. Alright, the mutants are coming. The mutants are coming. Oh boy. It's gonna be a thick mutant you got there. We're going to need the Ozolith. And discard a card. So, Vivian right now doesn't get over this. But I'm dropping off Stonecoil, I think. Feels bad. Feels bad, because I could cast that and Ozolith next turn no matter what I draw. Alright. So, I think we play Vivian and kill this thing. Which sucks, because I don't get to play the Ozolith first. But, oh, it's hexproof. Never mind. That won't work. So what should I do? If I play the Ozolith and attack with everybody, I think it's best to have the Vivian on the field, to be honest. The Ozolith might get discarded when the opponent mutates. It's going to suck.
Close your eyes and listen to the sounds of the wild.
So I think we just want to get all the damage in. Although making this big enough that it can go over the Whisperer might be nice. Because if they block over here, then what do they take? 9? And they're at 3. If I pump these, then they block 1. They're at 4. This is better then. But man, would it be nice to have an Ozolith in this moment. We just never got it onto the battlefield. Our curve was too... I mean, our curve was perfect. It's a weird thing to complain about. Blocked a Pelt Collector. Pelt Collector can gain tramples. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Well, this means they can't mutate very well. Because if they mutate onto this, then they have this one big creature. And then they die to going wide. So they need to play something. Yeah, they need to do that. And they can't attack Vivian. Which means this is hexproof, but this isn't. So, you know, show them the spice, but then destroy them. Actually, they're at 3. We never get to do this. We never get to do this, you guys.
Lives with wonderful creatures.
It's not about finding lethal, it's about finding silly lethal. Yeah. So Lith. 2? Yeah. But hey, the opponent will obviously go out of their way to kill it. It's very important to have another one. I'm kidding. This is my sarcastic face. I mean, turn 1 Ozolith, you just don't lose, so you have to play it. Even in the face of not that good. This is mono red. This is mono red. We play mono red every day. Mono red. Gonna be my new mono red hate song. All right, really need an untapped land next turn pretty badly. Pretty badly. Will the deck comply? Mono red. Mono red. This is mono red. All right. Any creature is pretty good here, but untapped land would be nice. Okay, fine. We'll get another green because Viv. Pump up the jam. It's a big boy. Opponent's who's he, what's he? How did you get so strong? You'll have to read the Ozolith, and you will know how we got so strong. The Ozolith, the great Ozolith. All right, come on, give me that hexproof and that lifelink. No, and don't dilly dally. Got him. Can't shoot this. Oh man. Opponent's like, Embercleave? Nah? No Embercleave? Gotta kill this thing. I don't think they can deal 5 to this. Let's see what we get on the Mechagodzilla, I guess. We don't want to attack anyway, right? Yeah, we want to defend Viv, so combat, tick up. Flying. Oh. No attacks. Vivian. Archbo, Ranger. So I wanted to put the, like, I guess we use this one because the opponent might be able to play an instant speed spell and 3 damage wouldn't be enough. Now we might get our opponent to throw away a Scorch Spitter to kill Viv. Yeah.
The wrong fight.
Indeed they did. You tell them, Viv. They did pick the wrong fight. Yeah, read it. Yep, that's, yep. This card is just going to destroy you. Slaying Fire, my face. Ow. Alright. Straight up lighting the stage. Revealing a lighting of the stage. Does not attack Vivian. You might regret that. Come on, lifelink. Come on, lifelink. Play this pre-combat. Pump up this sucker.
My, how you
Triggers. Hexproof, flying, vigilance. Okay, vigilance, sure. Vigilance. Double vigilance. What were the odds? What were the odds of hitting double freaking vigilance, people? That light up the stage looking for those burn spells. Next turn we can threaten lethal. Make the opponent start blocking. If we draw a land for the Hellkite, we mega threaten lethal. In fact, I think it just is lethal at that point. No! Dude. Are you gonna spit at me? That would take us to 2. Yeah, reading that Viv. Like, I don't know. I might kill you. I might get you. Whoa, really? All right. They're gonna make me block with a Mechagodzilla. That's what that is. Gotta make sure those die. Gotta kill this because counters on the Ozolith. Reveals shock. Well, that's a problem. This is 12. This is 13. This is a vigilance counter. We're 2 points shy. That is a problem. Well, there's not a lot to do. We'll put it here, both counters here, because, you know, lifelink is definitely coming.
We're fit enough to survive.
Lifelink is definitely coming. Vigilance counter. Here you go. And menace. Freaking menace. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I hate you. I hate you. There's nothing good about it. You suck. I guess the hand is definitely not what I'm looking for, but we will rip an Ozolith right off the top. Like a true magical champion. Like a real gamer. Like eSports. Well then.
That is power.
Opponent should concede now. Their growth spiral is useless. Useless, I say. It's not like they'll play Fires of Invention and dump their hand upon us. Come forth, Lava Serpent. Strike them for taking time. No! What monster are you? How dare they? Nobody ever takes out the Ozolith. Ever! Suck it. Get him. Alright, now we need Big Vivian. Big Vivian? It's not right. Feels big because of the triple green casting cost, but there is a bigger Vivian now. We need Vivian 4 off the top. Jagantha, the Wellspring. Oh, is that good? Is that a good draw? Feels good, man. That's what you get for harming the Ozolith. You get pain, suffering, and Gruul Smash beats. Go ahead, kill them. A new one will take their place, kind of like your Hydra here. I feel like I should hold this back. Maybe that's wrong, because I could get my opponent to 1 here. The thing is, if they then board wipe somehow, like this way I have this to play and it immediately becomes a 5/5 haste from the Ozolith. If I attack here and they block here and go to 2, I think we hold it back. I might regret this. They hang on to their Krasis, so they probably don't have a Wrath. Ozolith gets pumped. But yeah, I like keeping the hasty threat ready to go. We'll see if this costs me the game somehow. I mean, they're just going to play Krasis into Krasis into Krasis. I don't know what I'm thinking. Sure. Alright, plus. So they're going to Wrath on my turn. I just gain Hexproof. This gains Hexproof. It's possible I should submit 0 here because they could Wrath in response. Nah. Well, they're not going to gain 1 life, right? So decline. Mm-hmm. Mass extinction event. I keep on calling it mass extinction, but it's extinction event. Why didn't he target anything? Weird. But yeah, that exiled all the odds. Or even the odds, yeah, because this is still here. And a Golos, okay. Okay. There's no trample counters here. Our opponent going off now, and not even attacking. What a gamer. What an absolute lord. Alright. Haste. Counters. Take action. Swing. Face. Dubs blockings. Interesting. I'll just kill your Golos. Leave you top decking. So yeah, the opponent sees that. And now let's spin the Golos wheel for the game. You ready? Let's do it. Okay, Nivi Reborns hit some stuff. Narset doesn't help. Uro can give you some life. Yeah, if I'd played the Zerta because of Extinction event, it would have lived.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
So I think that smarty pants play is gonna cost me big time. Alright, so here's Viv.
Close your eyes and listen to the sounds of the wild.
Here is killing your Golos. I think that's what we do. Drop the opponent to 1.
We're gonna tear you apart.
Opponent could definitely take it. With an Oath of Kaya, they're going to kill Vivian anyway and gain a bunch of life. Bring out Uro, play Oath. That's up to 7. So if we can break Zerta through, it's lethal. Probably can't. Opponents played super cautious. They seem to have no problem playing a super long, obnoxious game with us.
I've seen too many species die already.
Kroxa. It's a weird one to throw into your deck. If you like long games, why do you play that card? Razor, good blockers. Good blockers all. I could really use a Stonecoil Serpent. Stonecoil Serpent might get him. Alright. We could give that haste and it would die. So I guess we're just playing it for the counter. And then they double attack. Yeah, no game to be had here. No companion again, and we go first? Okay, I think we'll take the opportunity though to use a passage. We don't have a Skargan Hellkite or a Vivian Reed in our hand. So I think by default I'll grab a Forest. Come on. Our opponent has a Stomping Ground as well. Maybe they're on Team or Wreck. It's another one of the no companion gang. Ooh, that's awkward. Let's collect Pelt. We could play a 1/1 Stonecoil, just to have more pressure. Be aggressive. Nah. Seems too weak to me. Shock, shock. You have a stone coil. What? Alright. Let's play Mecha Godzilla. Start getting some counters on this critter. And do I attack? Let's see what we get. All the info first. A +1/+1 counter. Good God. Let's hold back. This thing's still going to be a 2/2 next turn. This can become a 3/3. All we need is an Ozolith. Marauding Raptor. Interesting. Land off the top for us. Not ideal. You can play this tap land though and play a Spellbreaker. Think it's time to get aggressive. So what do you have now? First strike. My throat apologizes. I'm sure that's not fun to listen to, but it's fine. The editor always removes my awkward throat noises so you don't have to hear them. They take the damage. They must be setting up something. Something excellent. Destroya. You now have a 6/6. That's thick. Let's go big. What are you now? Lifelink? If we attack with all, the opponent takes a lot of damage. Let's do it. Stay strong. Down to 3. Can we stabilize from here? The opponent has to play blockers. This has trample. This has trample. This has trample. Everything has trample. If we draw a removal spell, it should be good enough to win the game. What are you? Protection from multi. Good to keep in mind. Even if we just draw land, we make a 6/6. Keep attacking. Hydra. Uh-oh. That can swing things, right? No, it can't kill anything. So they have to make it big. Now they can eat 2 creatures, though. That is a problem. Land off the top. So if we attack with everybody now, they eat the 2 5/5s, they take 1, they go to 2. That's not very good, so we'll pass. We've got to get bigger than their creatures. This is a good old massive creature standoff. They've missed a land drop, I think, so they still have to play some. They should have plenty of spells to play, but they have to play something large every turn. They have the Marauding Raptor for mana, so they have virtual 5 mana. And they can't mutate onto something because they need an extra body for a blocker every single turn. That can work. I don't think we block because there's still a chance we draw something to win the game here. Oh. Okay, that might lock them out of some creatures. Another Pelt Collector. All right. Keep building it up. 2 Marauding Raptors means any creature they play immediately takes 4 damage. So this time, if they attack with Questing Beast, I think I'll trade it with a Spellbreaker, because they can't play a new one. Right, okay, you have to double it. If you don't double it, the Raptors kill it. Huh. Okay. They chose to play it as a removal spell on the smallest Pel Collector. I don't know. Okay. Bang. So now the counters from the dead go on the Ozolith, which can then go on the last creature next turn to make it too big, and the opponent sees the writing on the wall, and they are out of here. Pel Collector on the play. Lurrus, you. This deck really hates Priest of the Forgotten Gods and Claim the Firstborn, but we do have Domri's Ambush this time to smash their little priests. What you got? Witch's Oven. Fun. Alright. 2 life. Make 3/3. Smash with Pel Collector. Yes. Get them. Get them good. Now we need land. Mire Triton. It's not good. Has Death Touch. We'll have to ambush through that, I think. We did hit the land. If I play another Zerta, it will make the Pel Collector bigger. So it's kind of a free 3/3 next turn. Yeah, you can use the oven, it's fine. Doesn't stop the counter, though. I need to be able to play the Vivian, so I'm fetching a Forest. Just to make absolute sure I can't top deck like Mountain. Revival. Epic. I mean, we can do this again. Oh, they hit the cat. They hit the stupid cat. I hate them so much. Ghost form. Fun. Fun deck. Alright. Go get me the green source. We really need the land for Vivian for trample. Without trample, this is going to get terrible. Alright, we hit it. Still don't love everything I see. Not only that, we can give trample to these. They'll just attack the Vivian in a minute, but do what we gotta do. An Ozolith would really help. Would really, really help.
Stomping time.
I wonder if we D up. Play this, they bring it back. We have to get through the ghost form some point. Eh, what the heck. This is not good. I will promise you that. An Ozolith would make a huge difference. Lurrus, bring back the ghost form. So fun.
This place is like a zoo.
Alright, well, Lurrus doesn't kill this. We could play this with haste and put counters on it to keep the pressure up. If the opponent does block with the Lurrus and it comes back, we can Domri's ambush it.
This will be fun to watch.
Just trying to aggro them down, but they can gain like 1,000,000 life. It's very frustrating. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. So dies, get back ghost. So the plan is to get back ghost form next turn, but we can do this. All right. Call the Death Dweller to do it again. Just, you know, max nuisance factor. Hateful Eidolon. Myra's Grasp. No second Myra's Grasp yet. Hey, that's at least something.
I've endured worse.
All right, terrible draw. Do we try to defend Vivian? I don't think that's good enough. I don't think I have a choice though. I don't have any other resource. I'm out of resources, which is the cardinal sin in Magic right now. If you run out of resources, you are dead. Because other decks do not run out of resources. They just don't. They play infinite Magic. Now, if this dies, they draw a card, right? Yeah. So we really just need to let that go, I guess.
Time to disappear into the brush.
Miserable. Pellet collecting, but we're on the draw against Umori. Umori is interesting. It could be a few things. And right off it's Grazer, so I'm guessing this is Mutate. Mutate we can't really beat. We'll try. It's very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. We can't usually kill their large mutate creature, especially when they're like on the play Grazer. Now they're going to probably mutate the first thing. Oh, that's brutal too. Not what I expected, but still brutal. Would have been such a good draw too. Too bad we were on the draw. Oh well. Now we just gotta figure out how to recover. This is a 4/5. It makes all creatures cost less. Maybe it's like a Hydra deck. I guess we'll see. But that thing is too big for us. Our whole hope lies probably in like Vivian and a Hellkite, which we can't even cast the Vivian. We drew 2 mountains. Super awkward. Here comes the mutants. I knew they were here somewhere. Drawing the second Vivian there is pretty bad when we can't cast the first one. It's about as bad as it gets. If we could cast a Vivian there, we'd be able to start up the aggression again. Would have made a big difference. Our opponent's drawing 2 cards a turn. We're not able to attack. This game's over. Absolutely over. So, I feel I've definitively proven that the deck is completely unplayable in ranked. It just runs out of stuff to do. You can't do that in Magic right now. If you run out of stuff to do, you are dead. But that's why unranked exists, to try playing other things. Sure, you'll play against people tryharding sometimes, but not all the times. Besides, when's the last time you battled Dreadhorde Invasion on turn 2? It's been a minute for me. It's been a little while. I think I'm shocking for Stomping Ground next turn because I might draw Vivian, but it depends what we top deck. Ouch. Butcher. Butcher is frustrating. Alright, well we didn't draw Vivian and we don't have a forest, so we may as well play the mountain. What do we get? Vigilance? Do I attack? How aggressive can I be? I feel like I should save it so the opponent has to remove 2 things to get in with their butcher, because we need to stop this butcher. This butcher can't keep coming. It's gonna be a problem. What the heck is going on? Whatever it is, they are going off. Master of the universe here. If we block here, what resolves first? Mine resolves first, right? Besides, the opponent would have to target the Mechagodzilla to get rid of it, and the Pelt Collector still grows. Okay. That sweet, sweet vigilance counter on this Pelt Collector, baby. Heck yes. Oh, it's just gonna... I'm just gonna trade it with the 2/2. Looks like it. That's life. Next turn, counters for Mechagodzilla. Or the Hellkite, which would be even better. So yeah, that was all by design. I'm gonna top deck a land, I'm gonna Hellkite, it's gonna have tons of counters. You guys, it's gonna be epic. Thick. Very thick. BioQuartz Space Godzilla, aka Brokos. Makes it mutate, make it 6/6 trample. Are you kidding? Menace and flying. No! It's too powerful. It's too powerful. Menace, flying, vigilance. Too broken. You're gonna take some counters off of it? That's the play? Remove 3 counters? Alright. Just a lowly 5/5 on the ground. No blocks. Down to 7. 7 to 11. Ouch. Like, just... Ouch. I think we play it as a 3/3. We could play it as a 2/2 in attack, but it's not fast enough. It doesn't change the clock. Meh, reach. Frickin' reach. Yeah, baby. Get it. If the opponent had kept it, they could threaten lethal, so that tells me they might have another way to get lethal. Counter. Go to 1. Yeah. Let's absorb some of this damage. I don't know what's in their deck. They're absolute maniacs. There could be anything in there. Now we have another +1/+1 counter, so this can actually square off with the 6/6. Hello? Hello? My pretty? First strike. What'd you get? Lifelink? Yes! Finally! Lifelink when we needed it. No! You monster! You monster, how could you? Alright, back down to a 5/5. Alright, no attacks then. They too are enlightened. This has no counters, right? Proper Ozolith War. Now the opponent can mutate it onto the 2/2, and things are gonna get real. It would be a good time to top deck that land, you know what I'm saying? Be a real good time to top deck that land. It's not good enough though. This would have to get flying. which it might. Eight, that goes to 9. If this has a counter, then that's 8. We don't need the counter for sure. Let's make haste. Trigger. Put the counters here. And what did you get? Death Touch. And First Strike? It shuts it down. It shuts it down. Oh, they have to block. This is lethal. They have to block the Death Touch First Striker. Oh, baby. The Ozolith always has a plan. You must trust in the Ozolith. You must trust in the Ozolith. Indeed. Good game. Shockland. Shockland. Self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to die. And we are back from our epic battles, and yeah, I know. I think we proved definitively that ranked is no home for a little Ozolith, although it is a fun toy to mess with in this kind of meta, but it just requires too much to go right. And like I said, this deck runs out of things to do too quickly, and the Ozolith doesn't help with that. It kind of starts you down a card to have more resilience. So we would need ways to like draw a bunch of cards. Hydroid Crisis, not enough. Like, I don't think that's enough, to be honest. What I think you want to do is end the game quicker. So if you wanted to play this in ranked in the future, I think you can go find some Ember Cleaves. Just run Embercleave, put Embercleave in here. You may even want to cut Ambush, run no removal at all. Or maybe it's Vivian. Maybe you cut Vivian and you run Embercleave and what? You run like another cheap creature so that you can get the damage in. I guess you could run Fervent Champion. Fervent Champion's reasonably strong. If you cut Vivian, you could adjust the mana to make it a little bit smoother for red. And then you're running Gruul aggro Ozolith with less +1/+1 counter shenanigans. Yeah. That might even be better. I think I'd try a version without Arcbow Ranger and Skargan Hellkite, and with Embercleave and with something else. There might be a spell that puts +1/+1 counters on things that makes sense to play with Embercleave if it was enough of those counters. I don't know. You'll figure it out. But anyway, the Ozolith isn't quite the fully cooked beast that I hoped it was, but it's very fun and definitely a good unranked deck. So I would try this out, and if you want to get more serious with it, fashion it for the Embercleave. All right, so that's going to do it for this video, but before I go, in case you missed the intro part or skipped it, do check out the Arena Craft podcast, where I am a guest on the episode, the latest episode, and as you see, that big view spike, obviously the YouTube clout is there. But yeah, you can check this out also on Stitcher, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, all the other podcasts, and I'm going to be back. They enjoyed me so much that that I get to come back a second time. Me and Arjuna will talk about the second week of Standard. We're going to record that tomorrow. You'll have it by the middle of next week here on this YouTube channel and on all those other places. And it's a really good show. Also the intro. Like, you have to hear my intro. In a world. It really starts like that. Pretty hype. All right. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to like and subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.